I blinked and it was June. Welcome back to Of Land and Leaf. Let's take a look at what the garden is doing in June. You may not notice this at first glance, but I have changed to the fencing on my garden. I got rid of the green plastic fencing that I had that was about this high, and I put in these 6-foot T-posts, and I'm using some garden netting. It's kind of hard to see, but that is the point. It's very see-through. It's black, but it's really hard to see it. And this was an agonizing decision. Like, what was I going to do about fencing? Because I know I needed something to keep the animals out. But as everyone was putting up the cattle panels, I was just disliking the way it disconnected the garden from nature. And I wanted something that gave a more seamless look. So here is the garden, and this is hopefully going to do the job of keeping the rodents out. I have this secured with some staples, garden staples. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you in June. But the garden is fully awake right now. I have loofah growing here that I'm going to secure in a moment. I've harvested and pulled some things out. This lettuce, I'll finish that up today. Cucumber growing. I have a cucumber that I'm going to grab today. I'll show that to you in a moment. I have beans, and these sweet peas are on their last leg. But I have harvested so many sweet peas. So many. I think this was 8 plants, but just more than you can imagine. All kinds of beans. I've been eating my own beans for weeks now, actually. You can see that cucumber over there. I've been watching her. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that today. Let me show you what else. We'll just start on one side. I like to kind of just do one side at a time. So in here we have the last of a lettuce that I need to get up. Beans, a jalapeno. I have a couple jalapenos in here. This one is doing the best. This one never really took off. And there's one that's hidden in there. I don't know how it's doing. I got a couple carrots that are left that I'm going to go ahead and pull out, but I pulled most of my carrots already. Those were just, I could tell they were really, really little, so I left them in. And calendula. The calendula that I planted in ground is going crazy. The calendula that I put in pots or in raised beds did not do as well. So I've been harvesting calendula and drinking the tea. I always bought calendula for tea, and now I'm growing it, and so I love that. These bags have onions and some potato, but mostly onions. This is my cucumber, and I'm planting another cucumber today, but this is a straight 8, I believe. No, this is a muncher cucumber, and my nail person gave me some Korean cucumbers that I'm going to plant today. They're going to be planted over on that trellis. But over here, we have a Eureka lemon that I bought from Stark Brothers. It took forever to get here, so I'm just happy to have it. And then this is last year's Meyer lemon that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. That hasn't really done much of anything, but we're going to keep her around. Then my Rose of Sharon, just for decoration and pollination. Back here, I'm starting to get some okra. And I planted a lot of okra this year, and I'm going to succession plant. I'm going to get some more okra going, but for now, here are my okra plants. This is my experiment. I wanted to see how corn would do in bags, and it's not as pretty and beautiful as the corn that's in the ground, but it is growing, so we'll see. I just put I actually put a bunch of corn in here in 2 bags, and only one of the bags really grew. The other bag didn't really give me any corn. So that's an experiment. come back up here. So here's a little herb corner. I have my calendula. I have marshmallow. This is my first year growing that. And I really don't even know how to harvest it. I need to look and see how I harvest that. But for now, I'm just letting it grow. This comfrey is just ridiculous. It just keeps growing. I keep cutting it down. It keeps growing. I love it for the bees. But anything else that's in here is fighting for its life. The zinnia is fighting for her life. The calendula, everything has to come out to get sun. Let's go over here. This is just stuff that I haven't figured out what to do with, but excited that I have ginger growing. This is my first year attempting to grow ginger, and it's looking good. I planted 3 pieces, and all 3 of them are giving me something. This one looks like it's doing really well, so I'm gonna water that today. And I have this leftover broccoli and stuff from fall that I had in the jugs, and I'm just letting it do its thing over here. But I have beets and broccoli and radish, right? And it's kind of shaded over here, so I was like, let me just see what happens if I leave that over here. So we'll see. So that's this side of the garden. I think I've walked you through everything over here. Let's go over here. So in the back of the garden, I tried to put some sweet potato slips back here, but they just don't seem to be doing too well. I'm leaving them in because I don't have any other plan for this, but they haven't done anything. So we'll see. This is a watermelon that I just put here just to save the space until I got ready to plant it. I'll show you where it's going in a minute, but this is just a watermelon that's right here. Today I plan to harvest the rest of my beans out of the towers. These towers can be problematic. They are very, very dry, but what I get out of these towers are beans. I have no complaints about the number of beans. This chamomile gave me a lot of chamomile for tea. I even have this volunteer tomato that I have no idea where it came from, and it is growing in here. So people will tell you that, oh, these don't work and they're a waste of time. They were hard for me last year. They did not give me what I wanted last year because I tried to do strawberries, and I just don't think they were adequate for strawberries. And no, you're not going to get the big bushy bean that you're used to with bush beans, but you get beans. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this for next year as well. Not sure what's going in after I pull these beans out, but I'm happy with the towers. And I'm also happy with my corn. Look at my corn. Look at this corn. Everyone said, oh, you need, all these rows, and oh, you need all this space and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sure about that because I have corn. I have tassels that are browning. Now the proof will be in when I start harvesting a couple of these cobs, which I may try to do today. I'm not sure. I usually like just to pull a little bit back to see how it's looking, and then close it if it's not working, and then take it if it is. So that's the plan. I'll probably try one of these that's up front because this looks pretty full and the tassels are browning, and I just don't want to leave it too long because last year I left it too long and it got gummy. It's real starchy. But yeah, I got corn in a really tiny space. So that's something I'm really proud of. Over here in ground, I have my turmeric that I just grabbed from the store and let it sprout on the cabinet, and then put it in ground a little while back, and it's coming up. This spinach is starting to bolt, which it's 80 degrees, so it's time for the spinach to bolt. But I've been eating it and it still tastes really good, so I'm not pulling it up yet. I'm gonna just keep harvesting spinach. This is a volunteer tomato, one of the spoon tomatoes that I got from Baker Creek. I did not really eat those tomatoes. As a matter of fact, I said I wasn't growing tomatoes because I did the blood type diet and it said tomatoes were not good for me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to grow tomatoes. Remember last year I had the whole row of different types of tomatoes. Well, this one volunteered, and I had a bunch of volunteers. I sold some, I threw some away, and I've just decided to keep a couple. See a bug in here. You can't see her, but I see her. Need to get some soapy water and work on these bugs. Next is this Zulu pepper, also Baker Creek. Didn't do a whole lot for me last year. We're gonna see what they do this year. So these are my Zulu peppers. This is another volunteer tomato, but see how it's just like right in this little line? So I didn't pull it. I was like, okay, I'll let you stay here. But I'm gonna keep them pruned because they were just a mess last year. So there's that, my turmeric. I have some beets over here. This whole bed needs to be dug up because there is a mole hole in here. So I need to dig this dirt up, put this fencing down, and put the dirt back down and then replant. But I just decided to let these beets finish and not put anything else in here until I get ready to do that work, because that's gonna be a little bit of work. And then back here, my blackberries. The berries are coming. The berries are coming. So happy to have berries growing. I should have a lot too. So happy about that. And my first zucchini. Every time I come out here, I am checking for bugs. This is my first zucchini of the year. Definitely not my first time growing zucchini. This is a different type. I can't remember the type that I had last year. I need to find out because it was a lot faster growing than this one. This one is a little bit slow for me, but that's okay. I just want to get some zucchini. And then in here are my peppers. I've got bell peppers in here. So a couple bell peppers in here. I have stevia. I'm gonna try stevia. This is my first time growing it. I don't even use it a whole lot, but I am gonna try. So that's my stevia, and then of course the nasturtium back here. And here's another look at my my beans. It's so pretty. Now I think that these are this beautiful purple, but then when you cook them, they turn green, like the other green beans that I have, which is fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and get those beans today. Let's keep walking through the garden. So over here are onions. I don't know why these onions are laying down like this. We had some bad weather, some storms, so I don't know if it's because of the weather or if something trampled the onions. I don't know if I should pull them when they start looking like this. I had garlic in here that I've pulled, but I haven't touched these onions, and a bunch of them are laying down. It's interesting. These are red onions. I think they're called rainbow. And then I have some white onions in this bed. So let me show you what's happening here, and then I'll go back. So in here I have yarrow that I planted a little while back. Grew this from seed in jugs. I really enjoy growing from seed. I feel like I get the most bang for my buck. I also just feel like I've earned it. When I've grown something from seed, I just feel like, yeah, I earned it. It's silly because you need to grow however you need to grow. But for me, a 50-cent pack of seeds, and then I have something that I can eat off of forever, you just can't beat that. I put this broccoli in late. It is June. Broccoli should really be out, but I just wanted to see if I could get a little bit of a head of broccoli. We'll see. If not, we'll pull it out because it does take up a lot of space. And I'm actually going to come around and show you the front of this bed now. Okay, so here's the front of this bed. These are bunching onions that I put in 2 years ago. And this is what happens. They turn into these huge stalks, and I've just been drying them and making onion powder. I could pull them out if I needed the space, because I'm not ever going to use this much at one time. But for now, I kind of like the way they look, and the bees are loving these pods. Look at that. The bees are all over those pods. So I'm letting them do their thing. Up here, I have some herbs, some beets that are still in ground, but I have my rosemary that I'm so glad I didn't give up on, because it struggled for years, but it's looking good now. Thyme, that also did not do well when it was over in a different area, but now it's looking beautiful. And this is new chamomile that I just planted in jugs over the winter. So I grew this from seed, and I have harvested some of this chamomile for tea, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then here's some chocolate mint that I bought on Facebook Marketplace. It was really small when I got it, and now it has taken over this little strawberry tower. It's beautiful as well. So you've seen most of this side now. I do want to walk you back to the middle, because I kind of skipped over what was happening there. So what I wanted to show you was that there's another volunteer tomato here. This is growing in my onion patch. Here you do see more onions that are falling over, which again, I don't know why that's the case, but I do have this volunteer tomato that I've just allowed to grow up here. It's big, it's huge. It needs to be managed in some kind of way, but I'm not doing too much because I don't want to damage the onion that are around it. I don't even know what kind of tomato this is, because it's a volunteer, and I had several different types of tomatoes in the garden last year. So far the tomatoes they're looking kind of small, so this may be a cherry tomato. I'm not sure, because my cherry was all the way at the end of the garden. But it doesn't take, it's not hard for a seed to make its way a couple of feet in the garden. So I just wanted to show you that. And I wanted to show you that I have, last month I planted some poppy seeds, and they are coming up in this little section, and I wanted something to flower in this section. I also planted some daisies, but the daisies I don't think the daisies are doing too much. They're over here. And I do see some seedlings coming up, but I'm not sure if that's what they are. We're gonna give it some time to see. But look how big those onions are. Absolutely love those onions. So hopefully we'll have daisies, we'll have poppies in this section here. So yeah, that is the tour. That's what the garden is doing. The beginning of June 2025. You've seen what it was looking like in March, April, May, and now June. And my goal was to really just go hard earlier in the year, so that June and July, when it's 90 degrees, 100 degrees out here in Georgia, I'm not working as hard. I'm just coming out here to kind of harvest and do a little something. So that's my goal today. The only thing that I wanted to do was give you a quick tour and harvest my cucumber, and then plant some cucumber, because like I said, I got those gifted Korean cucumbers. So I want to get those in the ground. And let me show you what my plan is for those. So as you see, I have this loofah that is starting up the trellis on this side. So what I'm gonna do is start the cucumber on this side. They should cross, because this loofah is gonna come up and down this trellis a couple of times if I'm successful. But I wanna go ahead and get the cucumber going on this side. The Korean cucumber, I've looked it up, they're really long and thin, so they should look pretty on this trellis. That's the plan. I did not bring my tripod because I wasn't sure if I was gonna be filming. I haven't been filming a lot. I really just wanted to kind of be in the moment in the garden. So the channel hasn't been very regular, but I plan to continue to give you content every now and then. I'm not monetizing this channel, so it's not necessary for me to be here weekly or daily or anything like that. But when the inspiration hits, or if there's something you want to see, I'm happy to create some content around it. But I'm going to put the camera down and get to work. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Happy gardening.